Hey guys, welcome. This tutorial is going to teach you how to make a very basic flying AI. Let's just crack into it, I guess. So I'm going to default third-person player template. I'm going to create a new folder and just call this flying AI. What we're going to do today is create an AI that chases you, by the way. And then we'll look at doing some patrolling and roaming and things like that after. So new blueprint class, this is where I'm going to create my AI. It needs to be of type character, okay? So I'm just going to call this flying AI. Now, we don't really need, well, you can put whatever you want in here. You can make it visually look however you like it to look. I'm just going to add a static mesh, and I've got my starter content enabled, and I'm just going to put in a current. I almost said cylinder, but that is not a cylinder, that's a current. Yes, I passed geometry at school. So this is what our AI is going to look like. Now, the next thing that we need is a new blueprint class of type actor component, and I'm just going to call this flying AI component. And this is a component that we're going to give to any character that we want to be doing flying AI with. And all we're going to do on begin play is just say get owner. The target is self. The owner we're going to cast to character because this is only ever going to be used on characters. And as character, I'm going to say get capsule component. And all this is for at the moment is just to turn our gravity off. So if you look up in here, capsule component, is this even right? I think it might be the movement component that we need. Sorry, my bad. Let's say get movement, character movement, and we're just going to say set gravity scale to 0. And I think we might need to turn the capsule gravity off as well. Well, actually, no, let's just try that. So if we just give our flying AI this component, flying AI component, okay, compile, save, and on begin play, we'll be casting to the character and setting the gravity to 0. So if we just drop a flying AI in the game, and if I hit simulate, you can see that he's already flying. So that's already basically flying AI. I mean, technically. So now we just want to get him moving. So the next thing that we want to do is we'll create artificial intelligence behavior tree. Just call this flying AI BT. And for every behavior tree, you want a blackboard as well. So this can just be what? AI BB for blackboard. Do we need any keys in there? No, I don't think we need anything in there just yet. If we open up our flying AI behavior tree and go over to blackboard, we want to assign, oh, what just happened? Here, okay, behavior tree, AI tab, blackboard asset is this one. Now, let's just get him to chase the player. So what we might do in here is let's have a selector node. If you don't know how to use behavior trees, I have a tutorial series about behavior trees and AI, so I'll link that in the description. It's quite a long one and it's quite comprehensive, but it'll do the job. It's easy to follow. It's easy to follow. It'll get you started. So, select a node. Lowest priority is just going to be await. Highest priority is going to be chase the player. So, but before we do that, let's get the AI running the behavior tree. So in our flying AI, we can delete the begin overlap and event tick, and on begin play, we're going to get AI controller. The controlled actor is our self, and we're just going to say run behavior tree. And on begin play, we're going to run the behavior tree flying AI BT. So let's see that that's working. Control Shift S to save. If I hit simulate, our AI is in there, and you can see our behavior tree is running and it's just waiting. So now what we need to do is get our AI actually moving around. So we need to create a behavior tree task. So in our behavior tree up here, new task, that's just created a thing like that. I'm just going to hit Control S to save, and now you can see down here in our content browser we have BTT blah 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 blah. This is our task. I'm going to call it BTT fly chase player, and that's literally all we're going to do. So event receive execute AI control pawn. Let's save a reference to that. So the way that this is going to work is when we're flying and chasing the player, we can just put that in there. So maybe instead of calling it fly chase player, let's call it BTT underscore set velocity towards above player. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to follow them above their head. Okay, and now if I BTT set velocity towards above player, that's our task. Okay, so we can go in there like that. When we get our controlled pawn, we're going to say let's say cast to character, because we want a character reference, not a pawn reference. And then let's save this to, actually we don't even need to save it, let's just say get character movement, and this is what we're going to be applying all of our velocity to. So we can promote that to a variable and just call this character movement ref. Okay, and so after we've got that, everything's set up, now we can talk about velocity. So our target, which is going to be the player character, so let's just say get player character, and let's say get actor location, and what we need to do is determine the velocity to get above that player. So what we're going to grab is our character reference, and we're going to say set velocity, our character movement reference, sorry, set velocity, and we're just going to set our velocity to what we're going to need to get above the player. So what I like to do here is I like to give it a unit vector and then give it a velocity. So this can be promoted to a variable, and this can be called velocity, or actually not velocity, we'll call it speed, and that needs to be a public variable, which I'll show you why in a second, but let's just default that to 600 or something, maybe 300, so it's a little bit slower. And now we just need to feed it a direction. So if we get the character location, maybe add a vector, so we've got some elevation above the player, so we can split this pin here, and this can just be called elevation height. I'll show you how to play with all these at the end of the tutorial. Let me just check how we're going for time. I want to try and do this in 10 minutes. Oh, it's going to be close, it's going to be close. The elevation height can be, say, 300. And we're going to say get unit direction vector. So this will return a vector of length 1. I'm going to plug that into here. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by the speed, which is going to be our velocity, which is going to result in our velocity. Now the unit direction vector is going to be from our controlled pawn location, so get actor location, from to the player's location plus some elevation height, and then we'll set the velocity, and then what we'll do is we'll say finish execute success. Okay, so now we'll constantly be setting our velocity towards above the player. So if we jump in the game, there we go. You can see our flying AI is chasing us around. And he's not rotating his face, but he's following us. And he's always going to follow us. And if he gets above us, he's going to glitch a little bit. So the way that we fix the glitching, is what we'll just do here is we'll have a branch and we'll just check. We'll just literally copy all of this here, and we'll just check, is our location equal to the player's location within some tolerance, so let's just say like 50 units. And if it's equal, we're not going to apply velocity, we're just going to finish the execute. So if it's not equal, we'll apply velocity. If it is equal, we can just finish straight away like that. Or even better, if it is equal, let's set our velocity to 0. So we'll stop above the player, okay? Boom. Now he's going to wait, and now he's going to follow us. And he'll follow us to the end of the world. Okay? So that's a basic flying AI tutorial. Now, if you wanted to change some of the parameters, so if you go into your behavior tree, you've got a few settings here. So you could change the speed of your AI to 1000, and maybe let's change the elevation height to only 100. So now he'll be a lot closer to you, and he'll be a lot faster. So he's sticking right to me, and 100 is probably a little bit. Let's try 1,000. 100 wasn't high enough, and boom, straight away. He's extremely quick. Yeah. Alright, so that is a very basic flying AI behavior in less than 10 minutes. If you wanted to do one a little bit more advanced, I'm going to have a part 2 to this, which will probably be, I'm going to estimate, about half an hour long. This is going to be a paid part. It's only going to be cheap. It's only going to be like $5 or $10. But what I'm going to cover in that, I've got a little list, so I'll just read it to you. A roaming behavior. So instead of just chasing the player all the time, you could have the AI randomly roam around without banging into walls until the player gets close or in sight, and then it'll chase the player. So that's one behavior that we'll do. We'll also have it chase the player without banging into walls, because at the moment it's literally just getting whatever point is above the player. So what we could do instead is have the AI look for a point above the player that's reachable, and then move to that point, and then once it's there, perhaps it could circle around the player to different points instead of just waiting directly above them. We'll also do a patrolling behavior. So what that'll look like is the AI will move from point to point in the world where you've put an actor. So what you could have is an AI that patrols in perhaps like a square or along some sort of patrol route until the player gets within range, and then once the player's within range, then it'll chase the player. And of course we're also going to have the AI update so that it faces the player, or it faces the direction that it's moving in, rather than just facing the wrong way like it is at the moment. So I'll put a link to that in the description. Like I said, it's going to be a paid part, but we'll cover this stuff in a little bit more detail, and it is going to be cheap. I'm not going to charge a whole lot of money for this. So link to that in the description on my Gumroad store. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon.